Hey, what is going on, you dead set legends? Welcome to the Ready Bang, the #1 podcast in the world. I'm your host, the Aussie Arm Wrestler, and boy, oh boy, do I have a couple of guests here. You just might know a couple of them. One of them, ironically, is probably arguably the most hated arm wrestler on the world, and the other one, all of a sudden, is Australia's favourite arm wrestler. So please... And they are going up against each other in next weekend. It is ridiculous how quick this has creeped on with us. And of course, let me introduce the man that has just jumped off YouTube for a while and ended up getting pointy shoulders, which I'm very proud of. And he will be hosting on his YouTube channel this match. And I'm talking about my good friend, Ryan Blue Bowen. Ryan, how are you, my man?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm really good. Thank you for having us on the show. Yeah, it's been a good 6 months for me, so I'm really excited about what's coming up on the 24th for the US, 25th for Australia. But yeah, thrilled to be here, man.
Mate, and I always appreciate your time, and we'll get into a bit of nitty-gritty details for all the bone haters, and this was a money grab, and blah, 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 stuff like that. But speaking of a bit of blah, blah, before I introduce this great man that I spoke to last week, first of all, Todd, a big shove it up your ass. Montana's worst is not better.
I'll give you guys some lessons on promotion and marketing sometime.
I did have a laugh. I watched that, and good on Montana. That Montana Arm Wrestling. Go check out their YouTube channel. The venue looked incredible. Toddzilla came. He is now Montana's best arm wrestler to ever step foot. And the second thing I'm annoyed with you is this whole fly in, fly out business, avoiding me. You won't even let me get home from Dubai so we can hang out and have a beer. Bullshit, mate. Yeah, well, you're coming to Adelaide, but I'll still be in Dubai when you leave.
Oh, well, I didn't plan the event. All right. I was in Montana when I accepted this. So
yeah. And that's something we'll get into. But ladies and gentlemen, just give a ready bang to the one and only Toddzilla. It's quite funny because I'm the best third left arm amateur on the planet, and you're the best third choice for an AWE main event, Todd. So, Ryan, just explain to everyone, and guys, while Ryan's talking, I'll put up all your comments on there, and that's just me saying hello and welcome to the show. I haven't got that much time with these two studs, so we want to talk about the match and promote it. Ryan, can you just, one, explain to everyone how this match came across, and two, how easy it is to deal with Toddzilla and booking a match?
Yeah. So the AWE, it's a new promotion, obviously. Arm Wrestling Entertainment. This is the inaugural event. AWE 1 in Adelaide. There's plenty more to come in that respect for announcements that will happen whilst we're at the event. But this one was meant to be Chance Shaw and myself originally, as most of you guys probably are aware. Chance and I we're building pretty nicely. A big long story. It was the redemption for Chance to get the monkey off his back, and for me, it was going to be an attempt to prove that I could do it again. And Chance messaged me, about a week and a half ago now, and said that he'd strained his tricep or his elbow or something, and that he wasn't going to be in shape to pull. We looked at options, and there was no ability to change the date of the event. There's too much invested going into it. And so we were like, shit, we need a quality opponent to step in, and we're scrambling around looking for people. And we thought, well, let's keep the USA theme going. And reached out to Todd, and Todd was as you said, the easiest. Literally, I think it took Todd about 15 minutes to say I'm in. And then he's just sorting out his own travel. Everything's done. It's like, oh my goodness, this you compared to Chance Shaw on logistics. Oh my goodness, wow.
Yeah. It was, because like when Todd and I were talking, the other week. Todd was just like, yeah, man, everyone knows my prices. Just give me the date and I'll double check. So then when Chance when Chance pulled out, I, in my mind, was like, I wonder if Toddzilla would come over. And then the guys were all on top of it. Todd, I've got a poll going here. 85%, 88% as the votes polling in.
That's an improvement. That's an improvement that I've got 12% now. First poll I put out, I had 9% after 5,000 votes. So 12 is good. That's a big step up. That's almost a 44% increase.
Todd, does Ryan have any chance at all?
What's that?
Does Ryan have any chance at all?
Well, everybody's got a chance. I mean, you either win or you lose. So your chances are 50-50.
Were you surprised when you got the call up? And
no, I wasn't. Well, it was just weird because I was in the airport. So it was like we were texting. No, actually, I wasn't surprised, but I actually recommended who I thought would be a bigger draw at this late date. Because when you're trying to fill a slot for an event, you don't want to lose the momentum. So I accepted. Then I thought about it. I go, you know what? Who would probably be better than me? And I texted that back, but Ryan stuck with it. So no, I just had to go home. And then in my head, I go, okay, that's like in a couple. I thought I had more time between airline flights. I gotta go home. I gotta get PTO. I gotta put the dog someplace. I gotta close up a bunch of stuff. So it was a mad fury of logistics. And then getting the visa wasn't hard. Because last time I got my visa at the airport gate. This time I'll go online and get it. Australia has 2 types of visa. It says, okay, if you're a United States citizen, click this link. I go to that link. It goes, select your country. I select United States of America. It says, you cannot get a visa. Call your embassy. I go, what the hell? The whole website's for that. You have to get an app on your phone now. You cannot do it on the computer.
Ridiculous.
Oh,
and you know how lovely my internet is. So adding an app and doing all that stuff turned out to be formidable.
Well, I'm surprised this match is actually happening now. Hey, at least
I've had a bad run. I've had a bad run with opponents and visas and things like that over the last few years.
And matches in Australia.
It just gets cancelled on me all the time.
Fiasco. Bojidar couldn't come. Anytime you book anyone. So then when Chance pulled out, I was like,
well, you can't be honest on answering out of their question. If you are an arm wrestler, you will not be allowed to come to Australia if you're honest, because they ask you, have you ever been convicted of this? Have you ever done this? And I go, well, of course I have, but we'll say no.
Yeah. They don't check. They don't check at all. They're just like, just tick the right buttons. Get over there. But it is happening, guys. We're not putting the jinx on it.
It'll be live too. It will be live, Jake. Very live.
It'll be proper live. So there's the difference between live and proper live now. So it will be proper live. Todd and Oleg's love child. Thank you very much. He says Dad wins. And before we get to the live, I've just got to take a minute out for my 330 plus Patreon bangers and YouTube members. For as little as 50 cents a week, guys, you can help out the Aussie Arm Wrestler, and every single dollar goes back to the channel. And like literally just the other day, I was looking at changing Todzilla's flight so he could come to Melbourne for a couple of days and just
wait. I lay over in Melbourne.
You what?
I lay over in Melbourne.
Yeah, but I'll be in Dubai.
Oh.
So that doesn't work at all. But as you can see, all the names are still going. We're up to about 330, thanks to some people shouting everyone some memberships, which I'll get some behind the scenes from King of the Table. And I think there's one more page. It goes for like a minute, this one. I'm very, very lucky. And hopefully all these members buy a Ryan Bowen membership to watch this mega match. And thank you, everyone there. And I've still got to add names to it. So thank you. Sandras, have you typed this message or was this a couple of weeks ago? Just double checking, Sandras. If Ryan even moves, Todd, Off center. I will be impressed. Thank you, Sandra, for joining us. Ryan, you've been training really hard. You cannot help yourself. It's like, there's an opportunity. You pull chances. Like, Chance has pulled out. Let's try and find someone on his level. Oh, no, we won't worry about that. Let's find someone even
you know
better.
my style, man. I mean, it only makes sense that I lose to Coach Ray, lose to Zurab, and then naturally look up higher up the ladder. It's just it's my style. But in all seriousness, I that is my style to just always jump in the deepest end possible for me. I know without a shadow of a doubt that Todd is the highest caliber arm wrestler I've ever had a match set with. But for me, that's not a reason to. I don't. If I was to set a match where on paper it was 50-50, I know personally I would grow less from that than I would taking on someone like Todd, where, as the polls here have me at a 12% likelihood of getting a win. Todd speaks about pursuing excellence rather than victory in matches, and I think I have a similar thought in respect to my whole arm wrestling career. I'm more excited about where I'll be in 10 years than I am about where I'll be in a year or 6 months or 3 months or certainly next weekend. So look, I go into this match knowing that Todd's the absolute favorite. I'm not even going to say anything about how I'm going to beat him because he's the favorite. What I am going to say is that I'm not afraid of moments like this. I actually cherish moments like this. I feel that these things genuinely drag me closer to the level that I want to get to. If you want to be elite, pull elite. So this is probably my second time pulling elite. I don't know. I put Zurab in the elite category. He's probably, I don't know how people define him. Borderline elite. But Todd's elite. This is my first genuine, no questions asked. I'm pulling an elite guy. So I freaking love it. I get excited by this. This brings out the best in me for sure.
Yeah, and that is something. Is with all the hate and the whole delusional thing, that is something that you're not afraid of. You're not afraid of losing. You're not afraid of taking on the big guns. And of course, there's no bigger one than Toddzilla. Muscle Bike, thank you very much. He says, Ryan, will you shave your head to avoid a ruffle?
Well, it brings up a good subject. People are probably aware that I have a side mission on this quest of arm wrestling, and the side mission is to become the number 1 ranked ginger in the world. So there's 2 without doubt above me. It's one of them is this man, the other one is Jerry Catterate. Albeit it's not obvious anymore that they are gingers. They are truly gingers down at the genetic and chromosome level. You'll find they're gingers down there. But so this is a bit of a side quest on climbing the ginger ladder as well.
Well, if my timeline's correct, I think when you started making a name for yourself, Ryan, Todd was like getting rid of every ounce of hair that he could have. Like he was buying shavers for his balls and everything. He was like, there's no chance of having any sort of red hair. I just want to be known as elite. Todd, I mean, it might be a silly question for someone like you because you're just laid back, fun dude, awesome to hang out with. But when you're pulling Ryan, because we saw Bogdan Stoica just crumble under pressure. We saw he was so determined not even to get pinned by Ryan, let alone lose. Do you feel any sort of pressure like that? That if Ryan gets a pin somehow, or if Ryan somehow, you have a bad flight, food poisoning, your fucking right arm falls off, and somehow Ryan gets a pin. Is there, any sort of extra pressure?
Well, no, because that doesn't lower my stock price any. That this is Todd Hutchings.
That looks like the photo that comes with the frame.
Well,
oh wow,
little Todd.
So,
Todd.
No, man, I'm a professional arm wrestler. So when I went out, I go, I'll pull anybody. Like you said, I got a menu with selections and a list, and let's just go. I'm glad I'm pulling somebody more normal size this time, because usually it's like, oh, are they 100 or 200 pounds bigger than me? So
Yeah.
that'll be a
What are
breath
you
of
weighing,
fresh
Todd?
air.
What are you weighing roughly?
215.
Okay, so I'm the bigger on the scale. I was 105.4 this morning on the scale. So what was that? 240, 235, something like that.
No,
231.
231. There you go. Okay, so we got 15 pounds between us.
So
The heaviest I've ever been in my life was 230 pounds.
There you go.
So Ryan, break us down. Give just people just a quick update. Rule setting. How many rounds? Just a couple.
I'm not even sure if Todd knows the rules yet.
Todd
but
doesn't care.
Somebody sent me a link to them, but I couldn't. They were so small on my phone, I couldn't hardly read them.
Okay. So the AWE has established its rules. I could get this wrong because I've only loosely read them through them, but essentially it's a WAF negotiated grip, but it's running fouls on the elbows, so we won't see any deliberate elbow foul pops to get restarts and things like that. It's in respect to King's moves. It's very. There's no warnings on the humorous angle. It's just you put straight on a runner if you go down in that defensive Kings, because I know Todd likes the King's moves. He's always in it. So when Todd goes into the King's move, we'll be watching his humorous height. But it's arm wrestling. It's arm wrestling designed to keep the flow of the arm wrestling going. Arm wrestling designed to let the arm wrestlers determine it. You won't be seeing any micro fouls being reviewed and saying no, that was a foul. Indiscriminate micro fouls. There is the use of the professional foul too. I love that they put the wording in there. The professional foul being a intentional foul to prevent that prevents a loss or gains a victory, results in an immediate loss of that round. So you do the old pick it up and put them down like that, or drag 6 inches off the back of the pad in your King's move to prevent the pin. That's an immediate loss.
Okay. Well, Todd only does one thing, and that's side pressure. So he bites down on his mouth guard. He does side pressure. If Todd somehow's in a defensive position, he just tries to look you straight in the eye. I mean, you're ginger, so you don't have a soul. So he'll look somewhere deep in there and then try and bring you on the side of the table. Like Todd, you do a lot of traveling. Is this the furthest you have to travel and the shortest amount of time before you pull? Like, is this your longest flight and then it's get off, pull, and, because usually, like, if you go to East versus West, you might get there a few days earlier. Your missus does cartwheels in the hotel hallway.
No, I think I was able to work it out where I can't remember. I think when I go to Turkey, I get there on Thursday and I pull on Saturday, and that's the same thing I'm doing here. So I land Thursday afternoon and we pull on Saturday. So
although we all know to get to Narnia, he's only got to walk through his wardrobe and he's here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But getting to Australia is fun because it takes me 2 days to get there, but I get home on the same day I leave when I come back the other way.
Yeah. So how long is your flight? Have you got 1 stop, 2 stops?
I stopped twice. I stop in San Francisco and Melbourne, and I have a couple hour layover at each. Some of the tickets had me staying like 20 and 23 hour layovers. So I was just looking for airports that didn't, lock me into such a long layover. So I spent 90 minutes in San Francisco and then I think 2 hours in Melbourne. And then I fly to Adelaide and I get there Thursday afternoon sometime.
Well, okay. Brilliant.
What's the temperature in Ohio like at the moment? You're in the middle of winter.
It's our 50s. It's like 30 degrees colder Fahrenheit. Yeah. It's like 50s, 60s here. And we looked up that it was 80s or 90s down in Adelaide. Last time I was in Adelaide, it was like cold, because we went to that restaurant and you said it's because the Arctic was so close. I mean, it was like the coldest I was ever at in Australia. Now it's warm again. So
yeah, it will. It down there in Adelaide, like Melbourne, it's very volatile. You might get 80 or 90 degrees, but you also might get 110. Like it can just change like that. So,
but still
it's
warm.
a bit of a roll the dice.
I spend almost all my time indoors anyway, so it don't really matter. I just got to get from cars to buildings.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Just a super chat from Garage Grinders Arm Wrestling. Thank you very much. He says, Uncle Todd, I'm glad to see you pulling. Much respect to Ryan for taking in Todd. I hope you can make it a match. Thank you very much there, Garage. I hope Ryan can make it a match. I'll be setting the alarm very early. I think it's like 6 a.m. in Dubai, which I'm usually up anyway. So I'll be very happy to watch it. So Ryan's match will probably be an hour afterwards because there's 6 or 7 matches. Ryan, can you just please, before we get into like the fun stuff about the match, can you just explain to everyone like how you are making $0 from this match?
Yeah, sure. So me personally with the AWE, so I'm a 1/3, I guess, director of the AWE. The match has come about, and one of the things that I want to do is as a celebration of approaching 100K, my portion of the profits, should we obtain them, I'm going to be giving away in a raffle to one of the people who are a buying pay-per-view member. So there's an opportunity there. I want to do some Mr. Beast style marketing as a thank you for getting us to 100K. We're only at 95K, but you guys get the gist. We're gonna get to 100K. So yeah, my portion of the payout of profit will be given away.
Yeah, so there you go. So anyone that says this was just a quick cash grab, no, Ryan was just trying to help AWE.
Make no mistake, this is a business, and we want the sport to grow. And part of the way the sport grows is through business and making profits. We intend to make a profit. We hope you guys are on board with that and help us. We're putting a lot of effort in. There's big investment going in. AWE one. We want to be a very serious arm wrestling promotion.
So then, see that just quickly tell everyone, where do they buy this pay-per-view?
Well, yeah, this one, easy one. It's right here on YouTube on my channel, Ryan Blue Bowen. This first one will be broadcast there via the members area. You can just hit the join now button on Ryan Blue Bowen, and you'll be taken there. You can sign up and make sure you click the one that says Ryan Bowen v Todd Hutchings pay-per-view event.
So there you go, guys. So go to the pay-per-view, go to the members area. You buy it. So there you go. Mr. Percolate is in the chat. He's from Adelaide. Where did your comment go, Mr. Percolate? This for you, Todd. It's 100 Fahrenheit today in Adelaide.
That's pretty hot. I mean, even John Brzezinski thinks that's hot, and he lives in Arizona. So.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Thanks, Mr. Percolate. You dead set legend.
In the match, Todd, just so you know, Todd, the match is outdoors. It'll be under shade, but it is outdoors. Like we're at a
I hope y'all know how to make ice, because I'm going to be wearing an ice suit.
So I wonder more and more people are coming in.
My skin does not go well in direct sun. I'm like, I was like, one of the first things I've checked, like, it's going to be the shade, right? There's a cover, because I have been a friggin' roast in a 6-round super match out there in 100-degree heat.
So this is a good question that we can just once again set the record for. Ryan, tell them that it wasn't your choice of date, but tell them what's happening on the day of the Battle of Gingivitis.
So first of all, we as we all know, King of the Table is on 25th of February. Calendar scheduled the same day. If you're given that most people watching are from the United States, what you need to know is that this event with Todd and I will be on the 24th of February at 9 p.m. Eastern time. That's when it will be live. So King of the Table, I think for you guys in the USA is the next morning. So I think there's about 10 to 12 hours or something like that between the broadcast. But because we're in Australia, it does technically say the 25th of February for us. Now, and that all came about just through unavoidable circumstances. I booked the event long ago, well before I knew King of the Table was on. There was a lot of people thought I was going to be at King of the Table, and that was something that was a possibility. But by the time they knew their dates, my event was already locked in, and we spoke behind the scenes. If anyone could change it, I couldn't change it. They couldn't change it. So we just have to roll with it. But it's going to be a good weekend of arm wrestling. It's not on at the same time. It's 9 to 12 hours apart, whatever it is. so you can just have a really high quality viewership weekend of watching some of the best arm wrestling in the world.
So our match is the 24th of February in America.
In America, 9 p.m. Eastern.
All right.
I love when Todd gets his glasses out and writes stuff down. You just got to remember.
No, I'm writing stuff big when I don't have my glasses on.
Yeah, I love that old school stuff. Question for you, Ryan, from Mr. Pergolay. Thank you very much for your generous support. You even bought 50 memberships the other day. Thank you very much for your gigantic super chat. Guys, also, we'll get to some questions for these two a little later on in the show. We really do appreciate it. And I appreciate the 330 people that are hanging and banging, slinging and slanging with Ryan Bowen and Toddzilla. He says, hi all. Ryan, are you able to tell me if I buy a ticket to attend in person, am I able to walk up to the tables or do I have to stay in the grandstand? Also, do you have an idea what time the arm wrestling will start if I do attend in person?
Yeah, mate, Mr. Percolate 80. So the table is actually, so we're doubling up with a mixed martial arts promotion. So the table itself is going to be placed inside the octagon or the cage or whatever they call it. So I'm not sure if you'll be allowed in the cage, but certainly right up to it. So there is a grandstand, but the Apex Sports Fest is it's on a cricket oval, Norwood Oval, I believe it is, in Adelaide. Gates open there, I think it's local time, 12:30 p.m. from memory. So we'll be there from then. We'll be kicking off pretty much straight away. As soon as gates open, we'll be on, I think, by sort of 1 p.m. local time or something like that. So you can certainly get the best seat in the house and you can just walk straight up. You're not going to be restricted to a grandstand. There is a grandstand if you do want to go and sit down in it. But, yeah, they're anticipating – I've been to the Apex Sports Fest before and there was about 5,000 in attendance each day that it was open, watching the strongman, the MMA, the arm wrestling, all that sort of stuff. That was during COVID times. So now that we're non-restricted, we hopefully get a bit more. So I don't know. They might be getting 7,000 to 10,000 people there. So it should be a pretty good spectacle. And
not only that, you're bringing an international beer drinking superstar. The guy, the guy's got it all sorted. Todd, so I watched the match with Ben Brooks. Ryan's done a nice little play-by-play reaction about it, which I thought was a cool, fun video. Is pulling super matches, so what is it, 3 weeks? Does that bother you at all? Have you got a little pinch or anything going on, or you just like, nah, I'll be right?
It'll usually knock me down for about a week or so, but there'll be 2 full weeks between this. I'll be fine.
You'll be fine. Sorry, I didn't mean to put that comment up. I was scrolling away and it came up. Sorry, Michael Todd, about that. There you go. Western Survivor Beef Jerky is in the house. They should sponsor this event. Okay, so it's not going to bother you. Will you stay at the event, Todd? You're very known for pinning people and then just walking right off stage and you've disappeared and you're gone. It's one of my favorite things.
I'll probably, I'm sure I'll hang around because I don't have to leave until 8:30 the next morning. So,
okay. All right. Brilliant. All right. Well, is it just pulling Ryan? Have you got anything else planned while you're there? Like no seminars, no, king of the table start like you did at Montana?
Nope, just pulling Ryan and drinking one of those giant beers y'all have.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it. Adam, that one guy, thank you very much. He's been a member for 5 months. I can't put it up on the screen for some reason. And he's like, Ohio power. Toddzilla is the man. Sorry, blue. So thank you, everyone.
One of the interesting talking points on this match is somewhat the master and apprentice story, where for those who don't know, Todd gave me strength training and coaching, and I stuck with that religiously for about a year, maybe a year and a bit. So there was a big chapter in my arm wrestling journey where I was the student of Todd. And I saw Todd comment the other day that he's coming down here to see if I actually learned anything from the strength.
I'm gonna grade your homework.
So, for me, I'm genuinely excited for opportunities like this because I actually don't know where I am at the moment. All I know is that the season of training that I've been in the last 6 months has been a very, very different season. I feel really good on the table relative to people that I used to be in battles with. In respect to my local guys and just training. Obviously, comp ready stuff is different to training, but it's super interesting to see what has happened. And this is I couldn't ask for a bigger test. So it'll be interesting to see if I'm in the match, how much I'm in the match. Can I win the match, or will I get belted like most people think? I don't know. I'm genuinely excited to just find out what the training has done.
So how does that come across, Ryan? Because every single time a match is announced, Ryan Bowen versus someone, it is just, what an easy dunk this is. Toddzilla, like all my comments, I keep reading. It shouldn't be happening. What a mismatch. Rah, rah, rah. You've heard it all before, Ryan. How does that sit with you? I know you're not big on reading the comments, but sometimes you do come across them.
It's second nature to me. I know that as I grow in the sport, people see me for the first time and they think I'm delusional. But I've been like this my entire life, and I'm not joking when I say that. I've been like that since I was a freaking 3-year-old. I wanted to compete against the bigger kids that I couldn't beat at the time. It's been my model. Always. I've always had aspirations to be in the top league of tennis and the top league of football and top league of whatever I'm playing. And I'll weasel my way into opportunities. I'll sit there and hassle the tennis pro saying if someone pulls out of Division 1, I'm your fill-in when I'm only 12 years old. And they'd reluctantly put me in there and I'd play my best and that'd drag me up. So I've been doing this all my life and I've had people shaking their head at me all my life. But this for me is my normal. So I'm comfortable. I don't feel pressure or anything like that from those comments. That's fine.
Now, with your big new massive shoulders that you've built, are you able to lean forward so Todd can rub your head if he wins?
Yeah, well, I can't. I struggle to take a shirt on and off at the moment. It's very difficult. Sleeping hurts a little bit on my shoulders as well. So things are different. I'm adjusting, but I'm sure the head rub. I'll be elusive, maybe. I don't know.
I love the Matrix.
I'll still have a hold of him with this hand. I'll just pull his ass over and rub it.
Yeah. Is there any point you guys setting up? Are you guys just going to go to straps?
It's in my contract.
It'll be interesting. I mean, Todd doesn't need a strap, but he's certainly happy with a strap. So I don't think that I don't think we're both going to be running for the hills or anything like that. And I don't think a strap is necessarily the obvious answer. I think we might go out of straps, we might go in straps. Who knows? I actually don't know where it's going to end up.
This match will just go to straps, I can tell. Mr. Percolate just handed out 10 memberships to the Aussie Arm Wrestler channel. Thank you very much. You dead set legend, mate, just contributing. And then Engen's forehead taco with the super chat says, no doubt, Bowen is stronger than he's ever been. Can't wait to see the event. Todd being a huge favourite. What worries you most about Ryan's game? That's for you, Todd. I think it rhymes with buffing. Nothing.
I was confused. I'm like, huh? What technique is there that rhymes with buffing?
I can see your head switching. Thank you very much, Engen's for tacos.
I guess I'd be most concerned just about how, if I assume he's faster than I am. So I guess I'd be more concerned just how much faster than me he really is.
Okay. So have you been, I mean, and it's no disrespect if your answer is no, Todd, because you're super busy, you're booked out, this is short notice, but have you been watching or watched any of Ryan's latest matches to see an update from when you guys were doing some strength stuff together in the last time you visited Australia and ducked me again? Whatever, we won't bring that up.
Well, I haven't because I just got home 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And we're going through some turmoil here at work, and yesterday was Valentine's Day. So I haven't seen this is about the only YouTube I've seen on TV is this podcast. So
yeah.
But no, I got a big match in May and August, and that's what I was really prepping for. So when this came up, I mean, I accepted it only because it was so far away from my further matches, and I was open, so I haven't really prepared for it. But I can't. I mean, to be honest, there's not much I can do between now and then, anyway. So that'll give me something to do on the plane. I think I got 20 hours of traveling. I can watch all the YouTube I want if I buy $10 worth of internet on United Airlines or something.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's mate, guilt-free binge watching. It's the best. Someone just acknowledging your Todd. You're absolutely right about Sanders being a huge mismatch for Devon. Is this the same story?
No, because Devon, you got to understand, Devon's like this close from being one of the top super heavyweights in the world. And Sanders is just really, really good in his weight class. I mean, there's just not that many people close to Devon, you know. So Devon's a huge mismatch for all but what, maybe half a dozen people in the world. So, that, you know, that's why that's how I saw that. Even though, you know, Sanders is a phenomenal arm wrestler, it's just, I know, unless you've actually gripped up with Devon, it's just really hard to explain what that feels like, because the height and the hand reach and all that stuff is there, and there's just not a lot of give, you know, in his arm. A lot of people are really, really strong, but you bump into them, their tendons or something will flex a little bit and their hand will move. Devon's pretty stiff. He's pretty rock solid in there. It's a unique feel pulling Devon. So I just didn't think, you know, the person who's going to beat Devon's been in the sport for quite a while. It's not somebody still climbing the mountain, you know.
Yeah. And Ryan, can I know you're very confident in your ability, but when you really look at it and you look at Todd and you look at the Ben Brooks match, can you really get some pins and get some wins?
I don't know how long Ben Brooks has been pulling, but Todd made a comment there about Devon that it's going to be someone who's been pulling for a while, not someone who's climbing. I really believe in that when it comes to arm wrestling, maturity. There's time in the sport is a big, big thing. And it really does. It comes down to just the wrist integrity and the like for Devon's case, it's that gnarly sort of twisted musculature that he's got that just you can't unwind. No matter how big and strong the fundamental shapes of someone is, if they haven't got those hardened years in them, they're lacking. And now when I reflect on my journey in a training sense, it's been an interesting one because I spent a decade training essentially just my hand and wrist and elbow and things that are valuable in that arm wrestling sense specifically, but I lacked a lot of the fundamental power. Now that I've added the fundamental power to the hand and wrist decade work, I feel like I've had a very steep trajectory in the last 6 months as to what I can do relative to people that I used to struggle with. So I think that like I'm truly excited to see how I match up with Todd. Stylistically, people have said to me, "Oh, Todd's the worst match you could have asked for because he doesn't care if he loses his wrist, all that sort of stuff." But you know, as much as Todd has set a signature of being able to handle top rollers, no worries. I also love pulling people like Todd. I loved pulling Zurab. Short hookers that just go sideways. To me, that's my favorite groove to pull in, is when someone's trying to do that to me.
Short hookers are your favorite groove.
Yeah.
I thought you were married. Come on, Ryan. I thought you were a faithful man and short hookers are your favorite groove. No, I know what you mean.
So I feel pretty good. Like I feel like I'll get to. I don't feel like Todd's going to disengage me. Like the worst way to lose in arm wrestling is when someone totally disengages you and you feel like, I didn't even get any power down. I feel like if Todd beats me, he's going to beat me through my best power. And that feels fine as an arm wrestler. That's where you're just like, yeah, man, too freaking good. Well done. You're a beast. If that's what happens, cool. I like this match because I think that's my worst case scenario is I give it my best and Todd pulls through it. And I'm fine with that if that's how it goes. No one likes being completely disengaged and looking like you shouldn't even be on the stage.
There you go. And Isaac thinks this match happened last week, and the match was 5-1. Ryan, you got a pin. Why didn't you tell us? You jerk. Guys, just quickly hop out of the live chat, hit the like button. We've got 400 people in here. Let's get as many likes as we can. That would be awesome. And then more people can see these two have a quick chat. Where I'm going to ask Todd a couple of questions, and then you guys pump your questions in, and I'll pick a few of the best before we wrap up the show because Todd's staying back after work. Ryan's got to get even bigger. Oh no, you're in rest mode now, aren't you, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm only lifting lightweights now. I'm just in deload week now.
Yeah. So, and these guys give up their time. They don't ask anything. Buy the pay-per-view. You know everything to do. I'll be promoting this as much as I can. I can't wait to watch it. Todd, you mega son of a gun. You giant person. And I'm going to ask the chat this as well as you, as my man, Modest Handshake. He's a super dude. He trains at my gym. He's Nick Hendry, super guy. Right. If my man beats you, is this the biggest upset in arm wrestling history? And that's no disrespect to Ryan.
No, but now I'm trying to figure out what the biggest No, because the biggest upset in arm wrestling history was when I beat John Brzezinski in like 2005.
That's it. Well, that's what I mean. So, like, because you've been a part of it, John versus, John versus Dennis. We were asking this the other day, and some people came up with some good ones, but it's could be in the discussion.
I think when Justin Bishop got a win on Giannis, now he couldn't back it up, but for about an hour or so there, that was probably one of the bigger upsets ever.
That was the first video I ever saw of Justin too. That was it was amazing.
So what do you think? What do you think, Ryan?
On paper, it'd be one of the biggest ones for sure. But that's up for the sport to sit back and argue. But that's kind of what makes sport good, is when you're a fan, you get to argue with your mates about what was better, what was bigger, what was more impactful. We as athletes, we don't get to we don't really get to nominate ourselves. But if people were to talk about something like that, then yeah, awesome.
Yeah, because I know if I ask you, you're going in expecting to win. It's one of the things that I do love about you. You never go in and go, oh, if I can get one pin, that's amazing. You're going in going, I'm going to and get my biggest win ever of my career against.
I'm a believer in my ability to hit that small target and to identify the pathway. And then I think I know how to win this match. It's just a question of, am I strong enough? It's funny how many things I've heard Todd Hutchings say years gone by that I know I used to disagree with back then, that I'm agreeing with more and more. And the one I'm alluding to, Todd, is I remember hearing you say years and years ago, once you know how to arm wrestle, it's just go and get stronger. It's just and I feel like I'm pretty much arrived at that point in my career. I'm like, I know how to fucking arm wrestle now. It's just, can I be strong enough? So I feel like this match is the case. I'm not confused as to where the pathways are. I know what lane I am best at. I know what lane Todd is best at. Am I strong enough? That's the only question that I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, Toddzilla is alone worth the $10 pay-per-view price. That's not much at all. And you get $15 for King of the Table, $10 for Toddzilla. If you love Ryan, this is going to be mega. And also, everyone out there, if you're like, oh, I'm not paying the $10 to see this match, treat it like a raffle ticket. Because the more people that buy this pay-per-view, the more chances, like the higher the prize pool. Because Ryan's giving it all away. So that would be brilliant. Guys, right, you got 5 minutes now to punch in as many questions as possible as you can. and we'll pick some of the good ones. Ryan, I know you like keeping an eye on the comments. Todd wouldn't know how to, so if you see anything that you like, you know it, Todd. So we'll get in there. Wilkie quickly says, Todd, hope to run into you somewhere in Ohio. Shout out to Billy Collins at East Ohio Arm Wrestling. There are special things going on in the tri-state section of the US right now. So is May the next match, Todd, after this? No matches until May?
Correct.
Yeah.
This May and August.
So, yeah, that's East versus West and then taking on against John.
Yep.
Fun question from the Aussie arm wrestler. If Ryan wins, can he take your spot against John?
That's not up to me. But almost certainly not. So.
No, that I can't wait for that one. What else have we got? Both of you, what's your pre-match meal? Start with you, Ryan.
I've this is one of the things that I actually have discovered about myself in the last 12 months is how best to prep for the day. And for me, I'm all about now eating plenty of food, and it's like my it's like as if I'm on death row. Whatever my favorite meal is, like I don't want to do anything new. I just want to hit a big hearty meal of whatever the hell my favorite meal is. So I don't know, maybe something like a big chicken schnitzel or something like that. That's what I had prior to Bogdan. And Bogdan actually sat there opposite me when I was eating this chicken schnitzel. And he was like, dude, I can't believe you're eating all this food like an hour and a half before the match. And he's like, he hadn't eaten all day and he's just nibbling on nuts and stuff. And then and Mate Warangi from New Zealand was sitting next to me. And anyway, after the match happened, and Bogdan lost, Mate Warangi just delivered a perfect little troll to him. Right at the end, he said, hey, Bogdan, maybe you should have had that schnitzel, hey, bro. So for me, it's my death row meal, whatever it is. I'll be eating plenty that day.
What about you, Todd?
Probably salads and pasta. I'm pretty much vegetarian for the last 24 hours. So it's some sort of pasta, salads, fruit, that sort of stuff.
There you go.
I'm trying to come in with that strongman bloat. You know that strongman bloat when you watch World's Strongest Man and they all have that big extended stomach and they look like they're struggling to breathe. That's that's kind of where I feel my best for competition like that. So I really force the food in.
Wow. Todd, do you use any head wax?
Not at all.
Ryan, what's your wingspan?
It's 186 or something like that.
There you go. Okay, just quickly going through. Right. What season are you the most orange?
The one we're in now, summer.
Todd, do you like Australian beer?
Oh, yeah. I like
4X Gold.
What was that? 4 X's, right? Yeah, 4
4X Gold.
XXXX.
Yeah, you can't get that in Adelaide, I don't think.
Yeah, that's a Queensland beer, that one.
Modest handshake. Thank you very much. He says for Ryan. Who's next if you win this match? And
if I win this match, well, then big doors open. I saw bloody Michael Todd talking shit about it or something, whatever. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, and then if you lose,
if I lose, Levon or something, like natural progression. It's just Coach Ray, Zurab, Todd, Levon.
There you go. And Todd, can you just remind people how long you're staying in Australia for?
I leave Sunday morning at 8:30.
Yeah, so sorry guys, I couldn't get him to stay in Melbourne. Modest, I was gonna hopefully
because it's my mom's birthday the weekend after. So.
Yeah. Isaac quickly wants to know, how do you think you'll go against Brezink, Todd?
Oh, I'll be fine.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one. But we're talking about this one. You got to buy the pay-per-view. Go to Ryan Blue Bowen's channel. 95,000 subscribers. Let's try and get 10,000 people to buy it. And then, because you can win. You can win some money. Actually, one of my favorite names here for you, Ryan. Where'd it go? Ryan Blue Growing.
Yeah.
I think that's brilliant. I think that is brilliant. Guys, we are going. So I do apologize if I have missed your questions and everything like that, with 425 people, next time I'll probably put it a bit on slow mode and be able to help you out and things like that. So if you can, head over to Ryan's channel and buy the $10 pay-per-view and go on from there. And then, of course, if you subscribe to the Early Arm Wrestler, you clearly subscribe to Ryan Bowen and Todd Hutchings. Todd, will we get any sort of content, a song or something before?
That's the hardest thing is we've already started working on the song.
I think I can sing better than Todd. I might let him open it up, and then I'll see if I can return with something better.
Just hold on. I'll give you a taste.
Okay. Yeah, simply irresistible. I can't wait to see what lyrics have changed in that one.
It basically writes itself. Once you pick the bass line, it just writes itself. I'm more concerned what's going to go on in the background of my videos now.
Yeah.
Wait, paying people to do cartwheels and it's all going nuts. Guys, we'll wrap up the show there. Thank you all very, very much for joining Ryan and Todd. And Ryan and Todd, always thank you so much for your time. Go buy the pay-per-view. This match is going to be mega. Join me tomorrow when I have the owners of AWE on the show, Matt Connolly and Dave Stockbridge, and we're going to break down the rest of the card because there's more than this main event match. And also, this is for the AWE Intercontinental
title. This one for the AWE. So, yep, it's a real nice belt. So if you win it, you get to take it home and keep it forever, Todd.
As long as it goes on carry on.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'll keep it for you. Alrighty, guys. Thank you very much. Like the video on your way out. And the three of us will see you next week at AWE1, the launch, the big one, Toddzilla versus Ryan Blue Bowen. Thank you all, you dead set legends.